It's official. The poll results told me that you guys wanted to see Ben Simmons on the New York Knicks for this package right here. Damian Dotson, the first overall pick, and another first round pick. Now with the 2K trade logic, I could have traded him for the first pick straight up, but didn't really seem realistic, honestly. And you could argue that this one isn't either, but I would say it is, honestly, because they missed the playoffs. They probably want to change the scenery. They're going to draft two pretty good guys, as you'll see. And, well, that's it. We've got Ben Simmons. We've got a guy who could potentially be our superstar leader type of guy on our team. And, well, so moving on to the salary cap situation here, as you'll see, Ben Simmons does take up a huge chunk of our cap room, especially since we went from $5 million per year Damian Dotson to Ben Simmons, who's making 33-ish per year, up to 38 in his last year. So aside from him, though, Dennis Smith Jr. and Frank Ntilikina and Rudy Gay are all free agents, along with Luke Cornett and Reggie Bullock. They aren't really priority, though. I'm definitely not re-signing not Luke Cornett, but Reggie Bullock. I've never played him. I never really had any interest in playing him. We have a bunch of other forwards who are better than him. But Rudy Gay, probably going to go ahead and re-sign him because, you know, even though he's old, we can probably get him for a decent amount. Dennis Smith Jr. and Frank Ntilikina are probably going to ask for a decent amount of money as well, but we got to re-sign him. They were both quality pieces for us. Dennis Smith Jr. definitely upped his efficiency numbers and became a really solid three-point shooter. And, well, moving on in the offseason, our second-round picks. Now, one of these guys, the guy on the bottom that I can't pronounce his name, obviously, he's a draft and stash guy that we got from last year, in case you don't remember. So I don't have any interest in keeping him either. His ceiling was very low, so there's no point in keeping him. And the same goes for the other guy. The other guy's not good either. He's like a 68 overall, so we don't need that as of right now. And don't get worried here. I'm not declining Julius Randle's team option. For some reason, 2K was trying to tell me to decline it. I really have no clue, honestly. I guess because it's 2K, even though we let us do like a championship. So we're just going to accept everybody that you see on this list. And then Frank Ntilikina and Dennis Smith Jr., we're going to tender their qualifying offers so that they become restricted free agents. And then we'll go into here. They all have bird rights, so that's definitely a good thing. We go over the cap that means to sign back Dennis Smith Jr., Frank Ntilikina, Rudy Gay, all these guys we can go over the cap for. So first up, we're going to go ahead and sign back Rudy Gay. And, well, as we see right here, Rudy has an offer already from the Trailblazers straight out the gates, and they're trying to offer him a one-year, $9.25 million deal, which he actually is kind of interested in with an 84. We can definitely beat that. So we're going to go ahead and offer him a 2-year, $20 million deal, and he actually declined it and didn't want it at all for some reason, even though it's more money and all that stuff. But we're going to come back and give him a better 2-year, $25 million deal, which isn't really much of a difference, honestly, but for some reason he liked it a lot better, and he would end up accepting that. Now, Dennis Smith Jr., this is a lot of money for a guy that I'm probably going to keep as a bench point guard, but he did prove his value. We don't really have a lot of other options we can actually go to, and, well, we're just going to give him that money, and then he's going to like that contract, end up taking this, as you see right here. I ran out of offers for the first day, so I had to come back on the second day and offer Ntilikina, and, well, he wants a lot of money. He was actually, the original offer was trying to get 50-something million out of him, but I didn't want to give him that, and I'm trying to give him 44, but he didn't like that either. Now, backup center here, we have to try to fill out the Taj Gibson thing because, well, Luke Cornett is a horrible rebounder, so Taj Gibson kind of filled that out off the bench, and now Taj Gibson's gone. He retired. So we got to get a guy like this guy right here, Bismack Biyombo, who can provide some defensive effort and rebounding off the bench. And, well, Chuma Okeke, Kevin Knox, Rudy Gay, they're going to be holding down most of the power forward minutes. We don't have a lot of money here. I try to sign guys that are actually even better than Bismack, like Nerlens Noel, on top of also Jeremy Grant as a backup power forward, but we ran out of money, honestly. It was weird. They tried to tell me I could sign him, but then we ended up not being able to sign him, and, well, this is one guy who could actually give us some minutes out power forward if we really needed it, if we really had somebody injured. And, you know, you see him, former Knicks legend, Carmelo Anthony, sitting here in free agency, and we're going to go ahead and offer him the minimum contract that he wants, which is obviously at this age, 76 overall, 37 years old. He's not going to get more than that. Carmelo Anthony, welcome back to the New York Knicks. And lastly, well, actually not lastly, but Frank Ntilikina, I'm not going to give him the $52 million that he wants, but we're going to bring that down a notch around to $47-ish million, even maybe a little bit lower than that. So he can actually accept this. We want him on the team for sure. He's not going to be a starter anymore either because we need more offense since Ben Simmons can't shoot, and we don't want two guys along with Mitchell Robinson as well, so three guys who aren't great consistent shooters. And, well, the Spurs actually offered a better offer. Now, I'm not sure if it's really that much better, but he probably just wants to go to the Spurs for a bigger role since they let go of DeJounte Murray for some reason. And, well, we're going to match this, of course. We need Ntilikina back. He's our defensive anchor for the most part. Ben Simmons actually probably has better stats, but Ntilikina, he's been our defensive anchor for a while now, so we need him back. Along with Mitch Robinson, of course. They're both great defense players. And Luke Cornett, just as kind of like a serviceable option just in case Bismack Biyombo, that plan kind of fails because he's not good at offense. Bring back Luke Cornett, a tall center who isn't the greatest at rebounding or defending, but he's tall, so he'll get stuff done eventually if we needed him. And well, Cornett and Bismack both officially accept their deals here. And now we're going to move on to the player progression period, where as you see, Ben Simmons is a 91 overall, but that's only because I moved him to a small forward. Honestly, he didn't actually go up that much. RJ Barrett, though, this is the big one. 87 overall. Now, he made the All-NBA third team last year as what I believe was a 83 overall. Now he went up this much. And it's kind of crazy that he was a 78 just 2 seasons ago, and now he's all the way up to this. Now, Kevin Knox, he took a pretty solid jump to an 83 overall, becoming one of the higher rated players on the team. Same goes for Mitchell Robinson, increasing his overall, which he's done pretty steadily. And same goes for Dennis Smith Jr., who thankfully is continuing to improve his outside shot and his defense. Terrence Ross went down, and Rudy Gay went down a lot, 79 overall. Now, in free agency, he originally asked for a 3-year, $38 million deal, so I'm very happy I didn't give him that. I'm still kind of mad that I gave him 25 since he went down to a 79, and well, with the inflation in 2K and all that stuff, now everyone's like an 80 plus overall, so he doesn't have that much value, but whatever. We needed to bring Rudy back anyways. And Melo, he went down to a 73 overall, so he may not actually play after further consideration because he's, you know, a 73 overall, but maybe I'll let him dribble out the ball in the finals if we win or something. And well, lastly, in the offseason, Frank Ntilikina sent him to a shooting camp to get his three-pointer up more and more season by season. Sorry he has number 7 here, but whatever. I changed that into the season and gave it back to Melo. And then lastly for the camps, Kevin Knox put him in a defensive camp. So this actually boosts his on-ball defense to a 78, and his defensive stats are actually really solid. And well, because of that, or I wouldn't say because of that, but because of both offensively and defensively, Kevin Knox I thought was the best fit to enter the starting lineup this season because, well, Ntilikina, his defense is great, of course, and he's going to be off the bench now providing that, but his offense just wasn't there. And Dennis Smith Jr., I felt like Kevin Knox made more sense in the starting lineup because he's a better shooter and defender alongside Ben Simmons and RJ Barrett, who will be primarily handling the ball. And well, power forward and center are obviously self-explanatory. Dennis Smith Jr., only reason why I put his minutes down a little bit than the recommended is because I don't want him getting injured. Terrence Ross, 20 minutes per game, of course, as always. Frank Ntilikina is still there off the bench, going to be providing defense like I mentioned earlier. Rudy Gay, who's going to be getting a lot of power forward minutes, is there. Bismack Biyombo, and lastly, Chuma Okeke. I'm going to be easing him into the lineup because he's one of our better defenders. He still hasn't really developed a great three-point shot, but it's probably good for us to try to utilize him since, I mean, defense has been one of our weak links. And well, going into the season here, going to just simulate to the end of it because we don't got a lot of time left, and I'll discuss it at the end of the video as well, which I think I mentioned earlier. And look at this win streak we've got going right here. Now, the beginning of the season was actually a little bit rough, but hey, man, it ended up formulating eventually. And now look at the All-Stars here, right? So just take a minute, just look real quick. And now let me zoom in. Now, Ben Simmons, 3-time All-Star, starting right there. But the bigger thing here is RJ Barrett is starting in the All-Star game. Him and Ben Simmons are starting on Team Giannis and Team Anthony Davis. RJ Barrett has never made the All-Star game before, and his first All-Star game started. And then also, I mean, that's just as big an accomplishment as anything that we've seen in this series so far, honestly, because starting in the All-Star game, 2 guys, and well, at the contract extension deadline here, I'm going to give Julius Randle every penny he deserves. Now, this is exactly what he asked for. I didn't bump it up or bump it down any type of way, and well, he accepts that, of course. Mitchell Robinson going to give him a 4-year deal, and then right after this, give Terrence Ross a 2-year deal. I'm going to bump this down a little bit because he's getting older in age. He's around 30 years old now. Well, to finish out the season, sadly, we lose this game against Minnesota, so we don't get 60 wins, but we finish out with 59 wins on the season. Just to go through the awards here, Anthony Davis wins the Most Valuable Player award for the Los Angeles Lakers. Jalen Johnson wins Rookie of the Year for the Bulls. He was the 4th pick. Makur Maker, speaking of the picks, he was the 10th pick, not the 1st pick, actually, for the Philadelphia 76ers. So they did pretty well. They drafted a guy named Scotty Barnes with the 1st pick. Jaren Jackson wins Most Improved Player. And then lastly, David Fizdale wins Coach of the Year. What an incredible just achievement, stride for our coach, David Fizdale, because obviously we've already won a ring with him, and now giving all of our trust in him, letting him call the plays when I'm out there playing. He's done really well so far. I know we had one bad first-round loss, but we got a ring so far. Now he's got a Coach of the Year under his belt. And Ben Simmons goes on to make our only All-NBA appearance on the 3rd team, which I'm not mad at. We're the best team in the league. And well, as you'll see in this next clip, I'm actually not going to show you the playoff team that we're playing in the playoffs of the first round because I want to keep something as a cliffhanger here, alright? We got a lot to do as well in the next few episodes until 2K20 drops. And speaking of that, there is going to be a straw poll link in the bio where you can vote for what team I'm going to make a series of to kick off NBA 2K20. It's pretty self-explanatory. You can vote only once. It will never let you vote again. But you can pick multiple teams if you are undecided. So I'd say don't pick more than 3 or 4 teams. But if you got one you're set on, go ahead with that. It's pretty self-explanatory, honestly, the whole process. And whatever teams wins, I'll go ahead and rebuild once the game starts. That's all I've got, though. Drop a like if you're ready for our 3rd year of the playoffs in this Knicks series. Thanks for all the support on this. And I'm out. Cut.